Guys, so we just come back from the kilo sale, and yeah, it was a good haul. So we got up for about 8 o'clock and we came down to Peckham, done the kilo sale, got a big bag of goods here, and my backpack is full of stuff. And yeah, we'll get home, we'll look through it, we'll sort it out, and yeah, we'll just get that filmed for you, like, guys. We didn't get to film too much because I'll explain the thing of a kilo sale when I get home, but we didn't get to film too much because it's just really hands-on, so I had to use both my hands and stuff, and didn't really have someone else there to help me out. But yeah, it was a good it was a good hour or so, and we got some stuff done. Welcome back to my video, and today we're just going to be going over one way in which I get clothes, and through the title of the videos you may see it's kilo sales. It's quite self-explanatory. It's per kilo of clothes, and these clothes vary from fur jackets, mink jackets to your simple lightweight dresses, and it's per kilo and it costs £15. The price can vary depending on who's hosting the kilo, but more often than not it's £15 per kilo of clothes. And yeah, they're hosted by a great many of either companies or wholesalers. Sometimes wholesalers use it to get rid of stock, and yeah, that's it. Companies, wholesalers, a lot of wholesalers supply the companies for their own selling. And for example, I went to one of the wholesalers that I go to. On the day that I went, they just happened to be doing an in-house kilo sale, and it cost £6 a kilo for whatever clothes in a specific section of their warehouse. And yeah, I got a bunch of great things from there. I got a vintage Java jacket. I got a Nike kind of long Arsene Wenger coat. I don't know what they're actually called. I just call them Wenger coats. But yeah, we got one of those. We got a bunch of clothes in that specific section, and it costs all in at that time was £46. And for what I've got, which was amazing, I made that back off 2 sales. And yeah, but more often with the ones that are more commercialized and that are accessible, you can find these around and away. I've been to one in South London in Peckham. There's another one in East London, Hackney. There's other ones in Camden in North London. And around the way, I know there's others outside of the UK, outside of London, sorry. But I won't really be going to this because it's a bit inaccessible and a bit far for me personally. And so the process is fairly easy. They would advertise it on your means of getting the information, being your Facebook, your Instagram, potentially Twitter, or any social media handles these guys have. Yes, they would advertise it, and you get usually a set of either 2 or 3 tickets. You can get the super early bird ticket, which would be the earliest time you can arrive, and obviously that depends per event. It'd be 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock is usually where it's at. So that's the super early bird ticket, is when and those are usually the more expensive ones because you're coming in early and trying to grab the first lot of clothes that are around. And those are the tickets usually would be probably about £3. Then the early bird ticket, super early birds first, the early bird ticket would be from usually an hour later or an hour and a half later, and then it would be general admission, which would be from, I believe, 12 o'clock or usually 11:30, 12 o'clock or thereabouts would be the general admission. And those would still be a ticketed price of usually half, so it'd be £1.50, £1.75 for an online ticket. And in certain times with certain kilo sales, it would be totally free to attend. So it would be, I know there's one in East London that they do, and it's free to attend. So you essentially get there for when it opens, and it's open, no one checks your tickets and stuff. You just go into this warehouse and you just pick out your clothes. And you might want to keep an eye out. I did with the last one that I went to in this specific hall. I got a half price coupon. I was keeping up with their posts, and they post a half price coupon on their tickets. So a £3 ticket cost me £1.75, which is brilliant. So yeah, because they cover such a large ground from, as I said, from Graham and probably below us in the UK to as far as Scotland, and I'm sure east and west, they're stretching just as wide. They run events. It's not often that they run events, so it wouldn't necessarily be 2 to 3 times a month, because they just got to cover ground essentially, which makes sense, and there's no problem with that. But you essentially got to grab it whilst you can. So with the one that I went to yesterday in this specific hall, it was that one, and the next time they're probably coming will be either in April. Right now it's March, so it'll probably be April, maybe late April is the next time they come around to the same location. So that's why I go into the ones in East London and then North or Camden, wherever you are. It'll be feasible to travel around, and it may be annoying because you have to get up earlier to travel further or wherever it may be, but for what you get, it's kind of worth it. And yeah, we'll get into this the lot that I picked out during this period. Yeah, the first one that I got was a simple Nike tee. It's a staple tick on the tee. There's no colour difference in between the two sections, but yeah, it's got a plain back on it. And the early 2000s grey tag, size XXL. It's a bit big on the size, but it's quite cool. It's a nice oversized fit. I put it on myself. And yeah, it's just that's a simple tee that I'll go say maybe the 10 to 15, maybe you can push a 16, 17 in that range. But yeah, it's a cool t-shirt, nice simple staple. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's like the football t-shirt fabric, and it's not as thin as the sportswear, so it's like a thicker kind of sporty fabric top, but it's cool. And then the next t-shirt we got is this Champion t-shirt. It's a nice grey, and it's got a little, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's got like tiny bits of fading. It's quite hard to see, but it does make this fetting look a little trippy, to be honest with you. But yeah, nice Champion t-shirt, mini spell out on the chest. It's got the embroidered C on the arm, the plain back, just as a night t-shirt, size extra large. And again, that would be a nice 15 to 20, maybe 15 to 18 pounds, let's say, on that one size extra large. It's quite a big t-shirt, but yeah, it's quite cool. Champion staple, you can't really go wrong with that. And yeah, those are the only two t-shirts that we got, only because, again, I said I needed more sweatshirts because I'm running low on sweatshirts in my store. So the next bit are going to be quite a few Champion sweatshirts that we got. And this first one, I hope the camera does pick these colours up correctly. And the first one that we got is this Champion staple, the mini C on the chest. I wonder if these actually have a name to them, these type tops. But yeah, it's kind of like a salmon pink or kind of like a hot pink type colour. And yeah, it's got a plain back. I wonder if it's got the C on the wrist. Yeah, it's got the embroidered C on the wrist, and this has like, I wonder if it needs a wash. It's got that little white specks in it somehow, so it might be useful for paint. Size medium. The tag is split halfway, but it's no worries. You can all tell it's an authentic garment. But yeah, it's a nice simple staple piece. Maybe 20 to 25 on that. Just get it in, get it out, and yeah, it's a nice staple piece, and it's not a nice kind of, as I said, salmon colorway. And then the next one we got is one we get these all the time in this colorway, the grey staple. I think that's the navy C on the chest, navy interior, and this one has no C on the wrist, but that doesn't matter. Again, it's just a staple piece. Size small, say maybe a small medium, I'd say to the eye, but it will definitely fit a size small. And yeah, just another staple piece, Champion. This is again one of many that we got in the kilo sale. Third Champion sweater that we got now is this kind of burgundy one. I say kind of burgundy, it is a burgundy, maybe brown to certain eyes. Again with the C in the chest, the staple embroidery, size medium. And yeah, it's got a few kind of specks and I guess what look like bleach marks, but not so hard as bleach marks, but light wear to the piece. And this again adds to the character of the piece, it adds to the kind of experience. It has its own little story to it, and that's what's nice with these pieces. And it's purple Champion top. This is size XXL. It's got the purple embroidered C. This one, I'll give this one a wash. Again, you'll see some marks in there, but I don't know why. I feel like I can get that out in a wash. Size XXL. Got the embroidered C on the wrist again. And yeah, it's just a nice staple piece, and that one will go again 20 to 25. And the final Champion top that we have is an embroidered spell out on the, I would say on the chest, but it's a bit more central. And yeah, this one is my favorite Champion top, again in the kind of salmon hot pink type colorway. And yeah, size XXL. But yeah, it would be a nice, it's one of those nice pieces that you wear like underneath a thin jacket or something like that, a denim jacket potentially. Again with the embroidered C on the wrist, nice little additional branding. And this one's got a few black marks you may see there. But again, to me, those kind of black marks add to the colour to it, add to the character. And with my kind of creative mind anyway, if someone actually did grab this, if you kind of splatter it with black marks, you get some sort of tie-dye or some sort of fabric paint, you could definitely splatter this with black marks, splatter the black with black marks, and that would actually look quite hard if I'm honest with you. If you just lay it on the floor, splatter it out, and that would be quite a hard champion piece. Obviously cover maybe the champion logo. Size XXL, and yeah, so that was our final champion crop. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 champion tops. And yeah, this first sweat is a vintage Umbro piece. Man United, come on you Reds, even though this is a blue sweater. Yeah, it's a nice Umbro piece, and as we know, United were sponsored by the Umbro in the 90s. I think in the early 2000s. I know in the early 2000s we had Vodafone, but maybe 2000, 2001? I don't know. But yeah, I know Umbro was definitely a 90s staple for United in our sponsorship. An embroidered logo on the back, just above the neck, below the neck, sorry. All of this is embroidered. You got a nice Umbro spell out on the arm. Yeah. So you got the spell out on the arm. And yeah, as you can see, the tag is cut off, but to be honest, that doesn't really matter because you can clearly see it's an authentic Umbro piece. The quality is good, stitching's all there. But yeah, this is just a lovely staple piece, and that will again maybe 20, 25 pounds, 25 pounds if you want to sit on it. But yeah, that is a quality Umbro piece. Now this next one is a Nike sweatshirt, and yeah, this one's one of my favorites one of my favorite pickups. Yeah, that's embroidered. That's a swoosh on there with Nike underneath it. It's got a Nike tick, and yeah, and as you can see on that left arm, you'll see it on the right hand side, but this is actually the left arm. It's got Nike there on the arm. So that is a sweet piece, a really nice cut. Again, Nike tick is a size large. It's got a grey tag. Again, I think that's the early 2000s. Grey tag. It's got a kind of fleece-like interior. So again, it'd be a nice staple piece. The only rival to that cop of the day would be this. This, as you can see, is a Nike top. This, as you know, if you know your Nike, which you all should, these grey tags is late 80s, early 90s grey tags. So whenever you see this, it's got age to it. It's got all the character that you'd ever want, and it's been well loved, and it's been again appreciated over time. And yeah, that just says Force. It's a big Force spell out, printed, quality printing, and you can even feel that it's got a lot of life left in it. With the basketball on there, printed fully, and it's got the Nike logo on the arm. So yeah, that Nike logo is going on the arm. Obviously it won't be folded over when you're wearing it. It'll be more flat out. Nike logo on the arm, plain back. And yeah, I'm quite surprised that I found this piece in such good condition. This is brilliant. It's no flaws whatsoever, no holes, no tears, no marks. It's got minor wear, if I guess you want to count those 3 dots as marks, but you can barely see them. And it even feels quality. It's not like it's shrunk or anything in the wash. It fits true to size. It's got this lovely fleece interior, and yeah, this is again rivaling that on my cop of the day. Really top piece. Again, from the late 80s and 90s, so that's about what, 30 plus years. So yeah, it's good times, I guess. And then we're coming up to our last couple bits. We've got this Pittsburgh Steelers quarter zip, when they're sponsored by Reebok. Again, you got the Reebok. These are all embroidered. Reebok logo there, Steelers logo there, and Reebok on the arm. Reebok right there on the arm. Nicely branded piece. You got the embroidered NFL logo on the back. And again, yeah, it's a quarter zip. Nice black and white colorway. We've got the drawstring at the bottom, fully functional and whatnot. And yeah, it's a nice standout piece. The black and white, sometimes black and white goes underrated in my opinion. Black and white is quite a staple and also quite aesthetically pleasing in my opinion anyway. Size medium, fits true to size. Maybe you can get away with a large if you want it. It would be a nice oversized fit if you fit a smaller size. But yeah, it's a size medium on the tags anyway. Quarter zip piece. Just coming out of fleece season, but we've still got enough time. It's still windy, still wet and miserable. So yeah, your fleeces and that will be definitely essential. So up next, our second to last piece is this windbreaker. It's Adidas. Some people call it wind cheetah. It's not your average windbreaker. It's kind of got some sort of lining into it. It's a bit heavier than. It's not just your thin sheet of plastic or polyester or whatever they use and stuff. It's got a little bit of weight to it. And yeah, it's definitely a sweet vintage piece. You've got 3 stripes on the arms there. And yeah, it's a full zip windbreaker. Then we've got a huge spell out on the back, which is really nice. Fully embroidered Adidas spell out on the back, which is really cool. Statement piece, as we were saying before, with our other pieces. And yeah, full zip, fully functioning. I don't know what this thing is. This kind of V thing, I wouldn't call it a V-neck, but this kind of V thing has no functionality, but I guess it's aesthetics and it's just adding to the character and to the look of the item. So yeah, and that doesn't have no functionality, it doesn't fold in and stuff like that. But yeah, again, it adds to the character, it adds to the design of the P. And yeah, last but not least, we've got this Adidas quarter zip. Now this isn't a jacket, but it isn't a jumper, it's somewhere midway. It's got a fleece lined interior, which is really nice and warm for your winter, autumn, winter, maybe early spring months. But yeah, maybe you might categorize this as a jacket if you want to, and you can wear it as a jumper the same way. But yeah, Adidas quarter zip. Got the 3 stripes on the arms that are going down. I actually want to try this on if I'm dead honest with you. It looks quite cool. But yeah, quarter zip. There's not really much to explain about it really. You've got nice hems on it. You've got the vintage cuffs, spell out logo fully embroidered on the chest. The neck roll goes fully up. It's almost like a turtleneck. And yeah, the vintage 90s Adidas tag. It's a US size medium, so I'd imagine UK is roughly the same. And yeah, I'll fling it in the washing machine. It just needs a little wash. Bish bash bosh, up on the Depop. And yeah, that was our final piece for the haul. So that was it for the haul. And that was 13 pieces I just counted there. That cost me, when I got to the till, it was like £92 and I think like 30 pence or something like that. And it does sound, and it is, well, quite a hefty drop. But if you do that, calculate it, 90, let's round it up to 93, just to make the maths a little easier. Divided by 13, that's £7.15. So let's say £7.16 if we're rounding that up per piece. So each one of those, the t-shirts included, I was actually including to all of that, £7.13 each. And as I mentioned before, the price margins between them, obviously marking it down for the ones with marks, and in any case of if they're sticking around longer on the Depop, just mark them down a little bit. But that's a nice price point for all of those pieces. So, thank you very much for checking out this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, we'll fling our stuff up on our Depop and Instagram pages. DM us, message us, comment us on the video. And yeah, that's me, Sergeant Vintage. I'm out.